Good morning. Come on in. Morning. Good morning. Good morning. Come on in. Come on in. It is cold in San Antonio. It's 43 degrees right now. I have my jacket here. I'm layered up. I got my hat. Oh, I'm gonna put my hat on. Oh, yes, I am. In a few minutes, I'm gonna put my hat on. Good morning, Catherine. Good morning, CDP. Good morning, Spilly Girl TV. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Samantha. Good morning, Ty. Who else? Good morning, Lord Lexington. Y'all, when I tell y'all it's cold in San Antonio, it is cold in San Antonio today. You all be safe because I know a lot of people are getting snow, a lot of people getting rain. So be very, very, very careful. Okay, y'all, let me show y'all my little hat. I got a little hat to go on with this today. Let me show you this little hat. Can I put it on? So anyway, I got my hat. Now I gotta suit my head this way because I got my thing here, but I got my little hat on. So I'm gonna do my little hat today, but I'm gonna take it off when I get outside. Oh, it's really getting cold in Houston. It's freezing in Baltimore. Okay. Thank you, Ty. Appreciate it, baby. Well, I'm an old man, so I said, let me start dressing like an old man. So anyway, you all. Mm. But anyway, y'all, it's an interesting day today. It's a lot of court dates going on. It's a lot of court dates going on. Now, they say that Lemon has a court date and Shakim is there. I got my thoughts on that. We'll discuss that. But also, Tommy has his court date today, if the day is the 15th. So I'm really interested to see what happens to Tommy. Tommy has been very quiet. He's not been on these YouTube streets, which is great. I applaud him for that because, when you got a court date, you don't need to be on the YouTube streets. So then they tell me that somebody got Bree and Lemon for copyright strikes. So it's a lot going on out there, y'all. I don't know what games people are playing, but yeah, it's a lot going on out there. So we know of 2 court dates. I say Lemon has a court date, and also we know that Tommy has a court date for the situation that happened with Castro. And can I say this? Nobody is stalking Castro. Castro should be happy that somebody's coming over there with them 14 people over there at his channel. Nobody ain't stalking that. Are you crazy? Y'all are sick. And then I guess Beefing 313 was over there. And I'm like, child, bye. Anything to get some attention, whatever. So I just wanted to say that. Oh, it's going to be interesting. Yusuf has court today. Golly, so it's 3 courts. Girl, it's 3. Baby, it is the season of court dates. So Tommy has a court date. They say Lemon has a court date. And Yusuf has a court date. It's a lot of court dates. A lot of court dates. Okay, what's the girls? What? Oh my God. Oh my God. You mean Tommy? Oh my God. Oh, baby, I got times today too. Not time, but times. Because we having this Secret Santa, so nobody ain't doing nothing today. Oh, Jesus. That's what I read in another. Uh, oh, Jesus. It's a lot of court today. It's a lot of court. A lot of court dates today. So y'all say Tommy got a court date. He quiet because he done did something else. Now y'all say Yusuf has to go to court, and y'all say Lemon going to court. Jesus. Hmm. My God. Caught a new case. Oh, hey, Dobbin. Ooh, Jesus. Tommy just can't take a break. He can't catch a break. Well, let me say this, you all. Um, it's a lot of court. Let me say this. Shakim, don't go to California and get thrown in jail. Don't go there and get locked up. Because when you do dirty stuff, you get dirty results. You be careful. And I hope you have some lotion and some good change of clothes, some cologne, okay, for this trip. Okay? Don't let nobody catch you out there with ashy feet, dirty clothes. Don't do that. I'm just saying. And people up there traveling to California, they need to be getting a little bag for their toiletries. Okay? That's all I'm gonna say. What's up? So don't go to jail. The girls say get some real luggage. Get some of that Dr. Palmer's cocoa butter. Okay, get Dr. Palmer's. Some about that stuff that do miracles. Get some of that Eucerin or that Dr. Palmer's. And get your ankles real good and your elbows yonder. Get them real good. Y'all see these little bicycles? But anyway, make sure that when you go to court, you go looking presentable and that you ain't stinking up the court. Because they're going to put you in jail for stinking. That's like contempt of court or something. Just go in there presentable. Y'all, did he look like he brushed his teeth and stuff when he was in California? Because they say here in California, people spending money all on this California, but they need to be spending money on toiletries. I just hope he don't go to jail messing with that boy. I know, y'all. I know. And this is the thing. But so anyway, we're gonna see how this play out. We're gonna see how this play out. We're gonna see how this play out. It's gonna be interesting. But he better put on some deodorant and some cologne after he finished taking his bath before going to that courthouse. And, you know, he's been talking about this for a while. So hopefully nobody don't get him. They said he's there. They said he's in California. You know he got a sponsor. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that alone. Yusuf got a court. Ugh, it's just crazy what these people doing. So now, I don't know what's going on with Rita. I haven't watched her since that. Let me wipe my booty and my cooch. That was like I couldn't deal with that. So let me go to the next thing of business here. Deanna Irvin cussed the hell out of Uppity. And you know what, Uppity? You really deserve that. Everybody knows that Deanna Irvin is Deanna Irvin, and that she really didn't do a lot with Yusef, and she kind of went her ways. Now, I didn't know why, but she told us why, which I'm like, well, damn. But she told us why. And so I'm like, Uppity, you do some stuff. You really do some stuff, and you coming after the wrong one. Because, girl, you get ready to get chewed up and mangled up. Honey, you cannot beat the mouth from the South. I don't know why you trying, but the mouth from the South, you can't do that. And so, Uppity, chill out. Chill out. Deanna Irvin said that she was cool with Yusef, but so she was cool with Yusef because Yusef won a lot of her raffles. People would give him money, and she, he would win the raffles, right? And she dealt with Yusef until Yusef started asking for money. Come on now, and Deanna spilled some tea. Baby, Deanna spilled some tea. She said he kept on asking for money. And Deanna said, well, I can help you get a job, paying $20 an hour. But Yusef had stuff in his background before all of this foolery happened. My God, today. So Deanna said, we can't do this. And she also talked about the Rick Reed thing. But, it is what it is. This is why I'm not on the phone with people. This is why, because baby, hey, don't ask me for no money. Don't ask me for shit. You hear me? I'm being honest. I'm being honest. Don't ask me for nothing. People be trying to send me cash app requests. I'm like, what? If you want a cash app request, then you need to get your channel popping. You need to come up here and work like everybody else. The reason why I get cash apps because, baby, I provide a service. I provide a little entertainment. But Deanna says she ain't taking care of no grown man that ain't married to her. And even at that, he still got to work. Now, I ain't mad at Irvin. I don't always agree with her, but stop trying to wrap people into stuff. And just because you friends with somebody, that don't mean you approve of what they're doing, especially when you don't know. So, again, Uppity, chill out with that. Well, I just think that there are people in plain sight. And that's what I wanted to say. Nerdy, please let's not try to make this a moment. Nerdy, we cool. I do think you do good comedy. But Nerdy, please. Don't try to make this a moment. Don't try to make this a moment, Nerdy. You understand what I was saying. You understood what I was doing, and you tried to make a big whoop out of it. And then I just, you can't be pastor of no church and you ain't had no issues with people. That's all. Sonny Nerdy got in his little spirit. Let me tell y'all something about that Rita situation, and this is why I stepped away from it, and this is why only God can do it. Only God can do it. Do it. Do it. Only God can do it. And that Rita situation, only God can do it. And baby, I'm leaving up in the hands of the Lord. I ain't worried myself. When Lala told what happened, and when she was saying that there was some theft involved, and people getting hotel rooms, and folk not wanting to do what they needed to do. And that boy went in school, and I said, only God can do it. I done absolved myself. Because you know what? People got to hit rock bottom, I guess, to get up. And sometimes you got to get to the bottom to start making your way up to the top. And maybe she just got to get to a place where she can realize that, girl, this is real life. This YouTube junk is fantasy. This YouTube stuff is not where it's at. Meaning that these people are only going to deal with you for so much. And they're going to want more. And they're going to want more. And they're going to want more. To the point where you wiping your booty on a camera. Talking about something, you know your limits. No, you don't. So I think that's a problem. But it is what it is, y'all. I mean, and like I said, y'all, it doesn't make no sense. So I haven't even gone over there to watch. Because the mere fact that you have a special needs child, that should be your priority. How can I get a place to stay? How can I be stable and bring me some money to take care of my child? And YouTube is not stable. I want to say, rest in peace, Rob Reiner. You may like him, you may not like him. I remember Rob Reiner as Mike Stivic on All in the Family. He did Thelma and Louise. He did that Cat Debates, Moving Misery. I mean, he did a lot of things, a lot of good movies. So rip to Rob Reiner. Honey, that Brentwood home was everything. Ooh, that home was nice. That home was nice. So the people are rocked right now because he and his wife, it appears that they were extinguished by someone. I'll use that as a better word. So, rip to Rob Reiner. Nothing but good things said about him, as far as the people who work with him. So, prayers out to him and his family. I know he's Hollywood, got money. He comes from money, but still in all, a life is a life. So, yeah. Yeah, let me say this, y'all. I have a dog. And before I go on vacation, I'm like, okay, am I going to put the dog in? I'm going on a trip, a work trip, because I'm going to be going on a work trip soon. I'm going to be on a work trip very, very soon. Is she going to stay with my other half? Or is she going to stay with two of my friends who take care of her when I'm out? I got to feed my dog. This is a dog. And I'm not comparing a dog to a child. But what I'm trying to say is, if you have to make those arrangements for animals, think about a child and a child with special needs. Because you can't leave a child with special needs with anyone. You can't leave a child with special needs alone. It depends on what those special needs are. You can't expose them to everything. And that's all I'm going to say about that. You can cuss people out all you want to. And like I said, cussing folk out ain't making your situation better. Uh, you know what? I have not. We are going somewhere, but I have not decided. And I even looked at the Sunset Limited. That's the train. And I'm like, maybe we'll take a train ride from San Antonio, maybe to Chicago. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So I'm thinking of like a train ride. I just want to do something, y'all. I'm not gonna be in Florida. So like I said, could be New Orleans, could be Santa Fe. Um, it could be Dallas, but I don't want to do Dallas. I don't want to do Dallas. So I don't know, y'all. I'm serious. The Sunset Limited, take that train up to Chicago, stay in Chicago, and then take that train back. That's what I'm thinking. Because the train ride itself would be fun. Y'all, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. So yeah, but y'all, there are a lot of court cases. There are a lot of things going on with a lot of content creators. Uppity is getting the work from Deanna Irvin. Um, you know, Uppity said some things, and she's trying to twist some people into stuff. Deanna said, "I ain't trying to hear it." Kind of pretty much cussed her out. But what Deanna Irvin said was right. The only thing I had an issue with is, I mean, she was spilling Yusef's tea. But let me say this: what she said ain't far from the truth, because y'all remember when um, Louisiana Red Hot Sauce had to get Yusef four tires. Y'all remember that four tires, them ball tires, going to do something for Dovey? Y'all remember the four tires? So it seemed like they were struggling already. And so Deanna Irvin said, because of his background, whatever that was or whatever that is, he can't get a good job because he has a background. So whatever that background is, I don't know. But Deanna Irvin said after that, it was a wrap. And I don't blame Deanna Irvin because, again, nobody ain't taking care of y'all. Friend don't mean um, dependent. Okay, excuse me. Friend don't mean dependent. Now, have I had friends who've had some tough times? A few, but they weren't lazy, baby, and they ain't had no situation that they were going, not be able to get a job. I have given friends seed money to start businesses, and I have one right now, and she has a phenomenal business. But that's because I wanted to do it. It was no dry begging. It was like, oh, okay, that's what you're doing. You know, let me tell you something. If a friend asks me for some money, I know they need it because my friends don't do that. Not to say that I don't have no poor friends, but even my friends who have low wealth know how to go and hustle and get their money the right way. Now, they ain't selling their time to a man who a nurse at Ben Taub Hospital down on West Mount Houston Street, okay? But they do other things, you know what I'm saying? DoorDash and stuff like that, okay? Okay, they ain't selling them as the Uber Eats, honey. Because some people are the Uber Eats, okay? It's not the service, they are the Uber Eats. Ooh, that was a little shady, but baby, I felt that in my spirit. Mm. So I can understand that. Trains are very nice. They're very nice. Yeah, I think Uppity likes that attention, y'all. Y'all, okay, I got some things to say too. Give me a minute. Okay, four tires, depending on the car. Depending on the car. That went down on Nova Channel. That's right. The four tires, baby. Honey, some people get that money. Look, amen, amen. Honey, you gonna pay for my services. So if you all were here yesterday, Ness said that she is coming to Jaycation. Now, what y'all didn't have to do was come after that lady when she said that she was gonna cook something at the Airbnb. Honey, y'all was not here for that. Y'all was not here for that. The people said, Ness, girl, don't cook nothing, just show up. Well, you don't need to do nothing else. Just show up. Just show. They said, just show up, niece. They said, niece, don't cook nothing. Just show up. So Ness said she coming to Jaycation. We'll see. I don't know. If she does, great. It is what it is. People do stuff for reasons, and so, we'll see. We'll see. Dinner and a movie, baby. Dinner and a movie. Oop, you said you clicked off. Well, look, people can come to Jaycation. I mean, it is what it is, y'all. It is what it is. It is what it is. I don't have a problem with that. I didn't listen to all of what she was saying, but you know me. If it sounds really like, oh, that's what, okay. Because again, I don't beg nobody on a link. I don't be talking about some, bring the link down. You don't see me doing that. I stay on my channel for the most part. If I venture off to somebody else's channel, it's rare. When I do pop up on the channel, it's strategic and for a reason. I.e., Pizza's channel. I wanted to let Dory know that no, ma'am, I'm not mad. Don't sit here and a lot of these people talking about somebody mad. No, I didn't let nobody on my platform because it wasn't to be discussed. And so I'm not looking for another thing. I don't need people on my platform. I always say this. People who click on my platform, very appreciative, but it's not necessary. I appreciate you coming up. Some people do make it pop, but it's not necessary. I appreciate your presence, but it's not needed. You got to be real with that. Like Castro, let me say something about Castro. Let me tell y'all something about Castro. And again, I'm not Team Tommy, nor am I Team Castro, but I am Team Truth. And, Castro always talking about something to keep bringing shit up. But a lot of the shit that's happening now is foundational from what you do. And so what is really funny to me is that Castro was trying to throw all kind of shade on his little channel about, having money put somewhere else and all of this stuff. And he had the money. Oh, you ain't have no money. Because, if you had the money to go, you would go. And at the end of the day, Castro, you trying to make this something that it really wasn't. That it really wasn't. And the thing is, you trying to come at me. But see, Rebel is wrapped up in there because we wanted to do something for your tired ass. It had nothing to do with sex. It had nothing to do with that. First of all, Rebel was with somebody at the time. I'm with my partner. We just said, hey, get the plane ticket and we'll get the hotel room. Or Whatever, and the bottom line is it was whatever was economical for you. We would have gotten a plane ticket and you would have paid for your hotel. Or if you couldn't pay for the hotel, we would have gotten the hotel and we would have allowed you to get the plane ticket. But this hoe expected us to do both. And then she tried to act like, well, I didn't want to go anyhow. Ho, you a liar, teller, and the truth ain't in you. And we left it alone, y'all. We ain't say nothing about it. Rebel wound up doing it. I couldn't. So it was a done deal. But then Castro goes to Deanna Urban's channel, or I guess talks to Deanna Urban. And the next thing you know, the mouth from the South is telling everybody that we were trying to get Castro to a cabin for sexual exploits. So I'm like, well, where did she get this from? Because this ain't true. And then Rebel was a little pissed off because Rebel like, I don't want to be. Rebel's like, I don't have nothing to do with it. I said, yes, you do. And I'm not bringing you in here. This Negro is trying to say that we were trying to do this for this. Then he had to come back and apologize because he knew what he did or what he had done, right? Fast forward to this Tommy shit. Tommy ain't all right, but Tommy ain't all wrong. And Tommy told us that you told him that same lie, that you told him that Castro, I promise to God, first of all, nobody over here, I can't speak for other people, nobody over here don't want you. I don't care how good you think you are. I don't care how sexy you think you are. And you hold on to that. Self-esteem is good. But I'm not interested. Never have been. Even when you were caught up in your situation where somebody had your stuff all over the net, we were like, look, this is not on no sexual tip. Somebody may be able to help you because it's wrong, because people have doxed you with this photo and all of that stuff. And you even admit it. But you got to do something that people will want you to be. Let me say this. To me, you ain't no different than tell me something about you. Why would you be good in a relationship? I got guts, Ro. To me, that's the same way. Y'all the same way. The only thing you can show or tell somebody that you got is always physical. It's always physical. Okay, what happens after the physical? Do you have a good job? Are you working on a skill that will move you forward in life? Because you crying over SNAP benefits that's been cut 6 times ain't cute. And especially at your age. You out there cutting grass and making baskets. And the thing is, if you were trying to really hustle to make a name for yourself with that, that would be great. But those are seasonal things that you do. It seems like you roam aimlessly trying to find out who you are or what you're trying to do. And so, yeah, talking about somebody obsessed and stalking you, hell no. Absolutely not. But I heard your little story, and I just thought it was interesting because You had this money, right? But you couldn't pay for a plane ticket. So I just listened to you. Again, nobody don't want to invest in you, and you don't even invest in you. And the situation with Tom screams that you ain't gonna ever be satisfied with nobody because you trying to always get the next best thing. I mean, what you did in that phone call to Shamar, I'm like, wow. And you can't deny that with you. It was you. And Shamar put it out on blast. This is supposed to be your boy. And you going against your boy. You didn't like him in the first place. He was just a permanent lick while you was dealing with your temporary licks. And you could be a nice person, but because I think you do things to try to hide behind that facade of I'm good and I'm cool and but you're not. Because again, for you to even go there, and of course, because we called him Stuttering Stanley, and we used to talk about that, he got really mad about that. But now he's in the beef sector, right? But he got really mad. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell a lie and give it to Deanna. That's what you did. And I know you hate me talking about it, but so because it wraps up right what you're doing now. Anyway, what's up? What's up, Stephen? What's up, Deepest O? So, Deepest O, we're talking about the court cases. We're talking about Lemon's court case. Shaquille said he going. I hope he lotion up, take a little shower, wash under your arms and stuff, get them the back of them heels, put some lotion on, go in there smelling right, and wear some decent clothes. If you go on the court, don't go in there smelling. And then Tommy got his court case, and they say Yusef court case is today. They gonna find out what they gonna do. So it's a lot of court cases today. You know what though? Y'all think that's come on. If Ness said that thing got worse, I hope he does the right thing. I'm just saying. Do the right thing. Take a bath. Put some Eucerin or some Dr. Palmer's coconut lotion on. Baby, that Dr. Palmer's, that you don't be messing with that yardless. Don't be messing with that yardless. That ain't nothing but water. Maybe that ash eat through that yardless. You need to get some Dr. Palmer's coconut lotion or some Eucerin. That's all I'm saying. Don't be getting no yardless and no Queen Helene. None of them Dollar Tree brands. No, ma'am. Don't do it. I would recommend some Vaseline. And put on a little cologne or something. Don't go in there rank, all ripe and stuff. Don't go in there like that. And don't go to jail. Because you're going in a hostile situation. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. I know what I wanted to say. Baby, I've been watching that documentary with Diddy. Ooh, Diddy. Oh my God, Diddy. Everybody who worked with Diddy came and turned against Diddy. And I was watching that with Biggie. Oh my God, when I tell y'all, why you got that man in LA? Why didn't y'all go to London? That man had a whole interview in London. Then you took over that man's magazine spot. Oh my God, that Diddy thing is treacherous, is diabolical. Oh my God, that Diddy thing. And I understand with the Tupac, because the Tupac thing wasn't good either, but the Diddy thing, and I mean the Biggie thing, and Biggie was scared. Biggie was like, okay, let's go. Biggie didn't want to be there. He didn't want to be there. Ooh. Mm, 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 mm. Then they said Diddy had slapped his mama. They said Diddy cussed and slapped his mama. Like I said, but y'all, it ain't good. It's not good. Oh my God. He used those people's deaths as a platform to his career. And then after the Biggie thing, you know, it's like, why you even making that every breath you take? So, because you really set that man up. That's how it looked. Oh no, we know his mama ain't no angel, but he got her together. Baby. But I think the most shocking thing is the Biggie. You know, the Tupac thing is something else. Because he was very, I believe, intimidated by Tupac. I truly believe that. Pac didn't want nothing to do with her. But that Biggie thing, it was almost leading the lamb to slaughter. Yes, and made Biggie pay for you dead and paying for your own funeral. And the sad part about it, again, y'all, Mace said the same thing. Everybody is saying the same thing. He set up that man to go to jail. Him and J-Lo went right free and set up that man to go to jail. Oh, it was a mess. I haven't finished watching it yet, but what I did see, it was heartbreaking. And then for him to try to date every one of those men, wife or girlfriend, I'll be sure. He tried to date everybody. And again, because he's seeing this from gangsters and people. And the sad part about it is what his mama did to him with them wild parties, the same thing he did to Usher. Y'all don't see the correlation. You know, yeah. And let me say this. 50 Cent was the executive producer. 50 Cent didn't do all to get the stuff together. This is they obtained stuff when he was recording. Oh yes, he did. And you know, let me give y'all a little, and a lot of y'all know this, but the man did this to early performers. Clive Davis, his artist. The sad part about it, when Diddy did it to his artist, it was much worse, much diabolical than any of these people. His folk was not making money. His folk were like begging folk to pay bills. Here they are with platinum albums and certified gold albums, but yet borrowing money from people. Every time Diddy made an appearance, he got paid major money. And he wasn't even doing nothing. He learned it from Clive. And let me tell you something. That Andre Harrell, that was no mentor situation. Did y'all see some of them pictures with him and Andre Harrell? It was a mess. Oh, I believe it. I believe it. I'm not saying that, but the one that really got me was the Biggie. Y'all, it was so evident. Why are you having this man in LA when they had already said that don't come to LA, but you bring the man to LA? Then the man had a flight to catch to go to London. You kept him there. Biggie did not want to be there. Biggie knew something was getting ready to happen. I'm looking at the footage. That man looked like he was concerned. Now, you're right about that. Let me tell y'all something. All of this behind the scenes stuff, when you start doing this behind the scenes stuff with people, you getting ready to mess up. Because if people are that diabolical to flag people's pages, if people are that diabolical to do diabolical things to other people, why don't you think they're going to do it to you? See, some of y'all be messing with some diabolical people because it makes you feel good that they're getting it. But see, it only takes one time for you to step out of line with a diabolical person, and they'll be diabolical with you. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Now, let me say something about this Yusef thing again. And I know Yusef is gonna be in the streets for a while. I don't want to sound mean. I don't want to sound callous. But I don't give two damns what happens to Yusef. Yusef is not my child. Yusef is not my partner. Yusef ain't my friend. Yusef and I are subcontractors on this AdSense application. Yusef have a mama, I guess. I guess he has relatives. I ain't trying to be funny. People are trying to distance themselves from Yusef. Let me say this. If you kept it business, you wouldn't have to worry about doing that. See, my there are no friends on YouTube is deeper than friends. My there are no friends on YouTube is we subcontractors. That's it. That's it. Now, am I a caring person? Yes. But baby, this is a stage. Once I click off of here, I'm done. Now, Yusef is dealing with some real life shit right now. He's dealing with some real life junk right now. We're talking about it because it is content. And people are like, y'all make everything out of content because y'all watch it. It's just that simple. Y'all watch it. Y'all watch it. The thing is, Yusef wasn't even a major popular figure in the beef sector. So imagine if that happened to someone. And let me say this too. We talk about who we may not like and people who we're near to dear, we stay away from it. Or at least try to. And that's real. That's real. There are a lot of people who went to jail on this tip. I know somebody right now, I talked about it and that's it. And I left it alone. And I'm just being honest. Oh Lord, not the puppy in the hot tub. Mm. But all I'm gonna say is I don't pay Yusef's rent. I don't date Yusef. Yusef did something that he was alleged to do something that was deemed criminal, and now that's where he is. That's where he's at, and that's it. But people try to make. Let me tell y'all something. If I get out here today and do something diabolical, Spiller Boy can't be blamed. Talking about something. Oh, you used to talk to him too, and shit happens. People make decisions. And if you make the wrong decision, it's not the other person's fault. I'm just saying. Now, will I say, ooh, that was diabolical and it was wrong? And, as much as, I thought that person was nice, they got to stand in a mess. It's just that simple, you all. Now, I will say no one is perfect. If you're looking for a perfect person, you ain't going to never have no friends. But, you don't know the inner workings of people on YouTube or in your real life. Who would have thought that Michigan coach making $6 million a year over one of the most coveted coaching positions in the country was doing that? Who would have thought? But he did. See where I'm going with this? You don't know what people are really doing. You don't know what happens when people cut off. You don't. I'm just saying. I hope this is making sense. Okay, Deanna about to go off. Okay. I'm thinking about making a hot cup of coffee. Either way. So, y'all, that's what I wanted to say. And people may say, ooh, that sounds so cold and callous. And people want to always say that, ooh, Jay, you so cold. And I do that for a reason. Now y'all understand. Everybody has to do what he or she or they have to do for themselves. You run your platform like you run your platform. I run mine like I run mine. I don't need friends on YouTube. I don't need that kind of stuff. I have learned from Hollywood that people will stab you in your back. And I'm looking at how things have played out with YouTubers even larger than us. Look at the Lovely T and Tasha K situation. Where that friendship gone? You look at these people, they fall out just like us because, again, people are always trying to get the upper hand. People are always trying to get the next story and get the next click and view. And my thing is, I'm not emotionally attached to you. I am about business. So it keeps all of this foolishness at bay. I don't need to talk to you on the phone. There are a few people that I do talk to on the phone. And trust me, what I say to them, usually I've said already on my channel. And it's not diabolical. So, yeah. One thing about that Diddy situation that can be learned, that, baby, when people get more power, they think that they're above the law. They get a little bit more reckless. They talk to people like they crazy. They do X, Y, Z. And we all saw that with Diddy. He was hungry, trying to get in, got in. He got in. He started doing this. He got these deals and everything. And let me say this too. Everybody ain't happy for your success. And how you get it is how you usually lose it. And all I'm saying is, even on these beef sector streets, y'all stop trying to act like y'all the king of the world. Because what happens is you think that you're untouchable. Even in this beef sector, we're seeing it happen. And then a lot of people crack under pressure. And a lot of this pressure you wouldn't have had in the first place. This is why you need to know who you are when you get into entertainment. I don't care if it's real Hollywood. I don't care if it's the beef sector. I don't care if it's the tea sector. I don't care. You have to know who you are, because baby, these people will come for you. They will try to deal with your esteem and all of this stuff. Now, like I said, I do a little light shade, and even with that little light shade, some people are very fragile, and that's the truth. Even in the little light shade. But I'm seeing a whole new group of people, and it's dog eat dog. And that's why I was telling Ness, I'm like, I'm not giving everybody access to me. If you don't like me, then why am I gonna go and listen? So I guess I thought Ness was saying something negative. I'm like, okay, let me cut her off and move on. I don't need to sit here and listen to you. I'm even beyond the beef and back and forth now, because it's like, okay, I know what you're trying to do. I'm not really interested in that. Yeah. So it's a lot going on. But you see it, and you go with it. You go with it. But if you come into this situation, be careful. Let me say something else too. I think I told the story. And again, this is how I feel that things should happen. There was a young man, a very young man, and when I lived in Ohio, let me tell y'all, some parts of Ohio was very depressing. For the most part, the people that I met from Ohio, the ones that I met, seemed to be focused, usually, middle class, So when I went to Ohio, I'm thinking of family ties, and, because Ohio is like Ohio, first of all, Ohio had to be the most racist state that I've been to. It boggles my mind, because Ohio was the point of freedom for slaves. They would hide out at Levi's coffin. Harriet Beecher Stowe's house is still in Cincinnati. I mean, it was the connect. They had so many Underground Railroad situations. Oberlin College, Antioch College, they were very progressive in letting Black people get higher education. So when you look at Ohio, it had so much. It benefited Blacks so much, especially for slavery. Kentucky was across the water. Ohio, was across the water. So you would think that it would be progressive, and so maybe Ohio was just as racist. And let me tell you, it was Joe the Plumber type stuff. Once you got out those urban areas and into those small towns, Chillicothe, Wilmington, it was rough. And once you hit that Kentucky and that West Virginia border with Ohio, it was very Appalachian. But even the border with Indiana. So Ohio is a very mixed bag, but I found it to be racist. But then when it came to the Black community, either you had money or you didn't. Either you had money or you didn't. And believe it or not, I like Dayton more than I like Cincinnati. And Dayton used to be the jewel of Ohio. They had so much manufacturing, but of course, decline. But baby, Cincinnati, and let me say this. You had the University of Cincinnati. You had Xavier University. You had Thomas More. They had a lot of good colleges. Even Cincinnati College of Mortuary Science is a known mortuary science school. So education-wise, the arts, culture, Cincinnati has it, but it doesn't trickle down to everybody. So Some of the black gays, not all of them, were some trifling folk. And I never forget, it was a young man, just finished high school, and he wanted to hang with these old heads. Some of them old heads were struggling real bad. And it was like their goal, not all of them, but some of them, to, deal with these young people. So this young man was really trying to holler. And I'm like, dude, I said, you're too young. I said, you look at that table up there. You see what they're doing? Baby, they want to put you down. Let me say this. You have a golden opportunity to shine. Go get your college degree, get a good career, or be an entrepreneur. And if you want to be a hoe, that's fine. But at least be a hoe with a job and a degree. Don't be sitting up here drinking and working minimum wage jobs and having no aspiration for the future. I said, now, being adult is being responsible. Pretty much, I was telling him, be cautious, because there is a group of folk, gay, straight, trans, their whole job is to stop your progress. Is to stop your progress. They ain't doing shit, and they don't want you to do shit. I've learned that people who do drugs, they like other people who do drugs. Because when you don't do drugs, then you got something on them. And you can't talk about me. Misery love company. I never understood why some women, and this is my experience in college, get their whole degree only to marry a man who don't want them to work and giving them allowances and stuff. And then when they done had 5 babies, he up and leave them, and now they got to start all over again but it's a control thing. I'm just being real. And see, this is when we need to talk to these young men and say, hey, don't do that. There's a better way. Don't do this. There is a better way. So, it boggles my mind when y'all talking about something, you want Rico or you want Castro. No, I want them to do better. I want them to invest in themselves. Nobody is interested in folks sexually. That's easy. That's easy. That's not hard. But you should want to do better and invest in yourself. And see, this is why now I'm to the point where I ain't telling these folk nothing, or I'm going to tell them and move on. Because y'all always say, well, maybe you should mentor people. Maybe you should. Well, we do. We do. Put that butcher knife down. Would Sparkles want you to go get a Chinese bus and go fight King Roman? No. You know better than that. What the hell y'all think that is? What do you all think that, hey, Castro, you need to call the cops if this boy comes to your house? What do y'all think that is? Hey, Castro and Tommy, is YouTube more important or your relationship more important? Take your relationship off of YouTube. What do you think that is? But then y'all will look at it and say, oh, you trying to control their lives and stuff. And you can't have it both ways. One minute you obsessed and you trying to sleep with everybody. And then the next minute you too fatherly. See, this is why I look at folk, because again, nothing that I told Castro, Tommy, or Brian in the way of advice has been wrong. And it's not because I'm trying to be right. It's like, I want you to thrive and do your thing. Make some good decisions. So, yeah. Nobody ain't stalking nobody. Nobody obsessed with these people. Mm-mm, mm-mm. But telling somebody to go get a trade so you can better your life, go learn HVAC or finish a college degree. Oh, ooh, that's so bad. Everybody don't need no degree, Jay. Everybody, well, get something that's gonna help you, because what you doing now ain't working. When you up here crying over SNAP benefits because they done cut them 6 times, is that working? Is that working? Because either way, you're gonna have to pay. Either way. And you better have some options for yourself. Even me, I can't sleep on it. I'm like, okay, what is our next act and what is our next option? You are always trying to make options and openings for yourself. And I don't care who you are. You should always be thinking forward and for the future and what my next act gonna be and how I'm going to start it and execute it and do what I gotta do. That's for me and anybody else. So anyway, but that's how I look at it, you all. I ain't mad at these people. I don't hate these people. I'm just really, this is what I say too. Jay, you behave folk, but yet y'all will tell folk, don't let him hit you like that. Fight him back. Oh, that's helping him out. That's some jail time right there. I'm just saying. Gotta listen. Gotta listen. And if you go back, yeah, I'll shade the hell out of you. But my goal is everybody should be trying to do better. Everybody should be trying to invest in themselves so they can have more options and do what they need to do. I know everybody ain't gonna be a millionaire. I know everybody ain't gonna be, but at least do something that you can take care of yourself. Well, anyway. And I'm not saying that I just see a lot of stuff going on, y'all. Yeah, and it's disheartening. Are you gonna go? Go. Hold on, y'all. We got this big old damn dump truck. Ugh. Yeah, it's a lot, but anyway, I'm not mad at people. Sometimes it's frustrating because you know the road ahead. You know the road ahead. You know what it's going to take. But you can't take everybody. You can't take everybody. And it's not like you trying to, but you see what's going on. You know what it's going to take. Some people want a lot of things, but you got to do a lot of things to do it. And anything worth having is worth sacrificing, but nobody don't want to sacrifice. Everybody want to get it the easy way. And when you get it the easy way, it's stipulations with that. Yeah, you may get that SNAP benefit, but you can't make so much money. You may get that voucher, but who can live with you and who can't live with you? You don't want anyone to be putting restrictions on where you can live, where you can go, who you can love. You don't want that. And when you rely on government, legislation dictates what you can do. And I don't think people get that. So it ain't shady, but it's real. Anyway, I think our ancestors knew that. That's why reading was so important to them. Our ancestors knew that. That's why they wanted to read and write. They wanted better for their kids. Yeah. Anyway, let me see what y'all saying. Our children are the future. Some of us, somehow, we need to reach our young men. We do. We do. And let me say this to you all. Hey, Stephen. No, Stephen Wexner. Look, Wexner. I believe Epstein had some dirt on Wexner. Either they were dating. You don't you don't become a high school teacher, a private high school teacher, and then all of a sudden you get $6 million. You know something was wrong with that. And I think Epstein got his fortune from extortion and blackmail in those women. And Wexner was the perfect storm because he owned Victoria's Secrets. So he had access to females and males, but especially those females. And so I think that's what happened. So that's just my thought on that. But y'all, like I said, I don't apologize. I know people want to act like, well, I don't apologize. I don't apologize for, I don't apologize for wanting people to do better in life. It doesn't always have to come through college. Some things come through trade school and vocations. But you're going to have to do something. Do an OJT. Do it on the job training. But do something. That's all I'm saying. Do something. So people can get mad. They can say what they want to, but do something. Well, look, y'all, I got to go. But I'm going to check and see what's going on. It's a lot of court dates going on. So Lemon has a court date. Tommy has a court date. And the people say Yusuf has a court date. So there are a lot of court dates going on. So we'll see what's going on with these court dates. Y'all take care. I will talk to y'all later. Peace and love. Bye.